Right. Hello again. I have hopefully fixed a lot of the problems that plagued me last time I painted with you. Today we are going to be working on a set of pansy flowers for a dear coworker of mine named Sandy. That's why I titled it Pansies for Sandy. Her favorite color is purple. So we're going to start with making our purple flowers. When I paint, I do a lot of mixing, which is why I have my tray here. For anybody who doesn't know how to do a lot of painting, maybe you're not experienced. Honestly, I've only been doing watercolors for about 2 months. I am surprised I'm good at them, but I'm really enjoying myself. So I thought maybe I could share what I've learned in my journey, and I'm still learning every day. I would like to give a shout out, which I promised to my delightful little students. I am a teacher at an elementary school, and my little personal art club that comes to my table every day to draw with me. I'd like to say hello to them. I can't say their names for obvious reasons, but they are E, R, and T. T, I'm looking at you. This is for you, darling. I hope you watch this video and you learned something. So let's get started. I have hopefully also reduced some of my background noise because my cats and dogs were causing a ruckus last time. So they have alternate means of activities to hopefully keep them occupied while I work on my flowers today. I kind of treat my watercolors like I do my acrylics. I kind of go heavy on them and then come back with more water later and blend. I do not know if that's a thing that people do otherwise, but it's what I do. So you can see that here. This is actually a bit of a mess. It went a little too dark. That's okay. We'll fix it. Because these are going to have a beautiful blend from this rich purple color into a nice yellow. So I can start pulling that back down, since it is going to be a fade. As you can tell, I've also invested in a new camera, which is a lot more clear and crisp, better quality, hopefully. And I got some really good feedback last time I painted. So hopefully I've made a bunch of improvements overall for everybody to enjoy. But I'm still learning. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. Do any of us really? I sure don't. I do have a source image of a kind of flower that I am attempting to replicate. I usually paint with reference photos on hand, or draw for that matter. Anything I do, I use a lot of reference photos. I do draw from my imagination. The mermaid was strictly for my imagination, but for things like this, I like reference photos. I feel like they really help and make it more accurate to what I'm trying to portray. I like that. And, if I'm doing a pansy, I want it to look like a pansy and not like a sunflower. That sort of thing. Obviously, those are two very different flowers. But anyway, I hope you can hear me because I'm not sure if my microphone is working. Tee-hee. Okay, well, I have a nice microphone set up, but I can't tell if it's working, if any microphone is working. No. It might just be painting. Maybe I voice over later if that's the case. Just bringing that down again, a little more. That's some nice music playing. Hopefully, if it's audible, it's pleasant. It's pleasant for me. Hopefully, you guys can't hear my husband in the other room being angry about a game he's playing. That sounds like he lost. Need a little bit darker edge here. We do have some shadows at play. I try to pay attention to the lighting when I paint. I'm not always successful. But again, if you make sure you do accurate shadows with your lighting, it'll help. If you're doing a realistic image, that is, it will help with your realism to make sure you're paying attention to your light sources. I don't always pay attention to that, but I try to at least, you know, if I have a neutral light source that I'm portraying because I suck at light sources, then I try to at least get my shadows on there so there's some three-dimensional aspect. This little dude is kind of more behind the one in front, and then this one also similarly. A little more water to bring this down and blend. And again, there's going to be some yellow on these. This back pedal doesn't have as much. Back pedal. So we can actually come down a little further than these front ones. And whoever is texting me is making me crazy. Alas, I need my phone. It has my reference photo. Alright. So this flower actually goes a little bit from purple to then blue. Kind of a purplish blue. I don't really have anything quite like that. But if I mix with some dark blue in, I can make my own indigo. And sometimes my paint gets a little dried out and you need to pick up a little more water to help keep blending it. But I have noticed with watercolors, I mean, like any paint, I haven't really had a lot of experience with oils. But when I paint with acrylics, if I try to go back and overdo it, I tend to lose the paint. I'll start picking it back up. So that's something I've learned with watercolors. I have to not overdo it, you know. But it's hard because I'm used to doing that. This isn't too bad. I like this. This is good so far. Let's come back to that purple though. We're losing a little bit of that purple. You can go in between and have a bit of a lighter shade to help blend it. It's better. That's getting back to. See, I've picked up a little color here, so I don't know if it's visible. A little bit there. That's fine. And we can work around that. And we will come back and add more purple because this flower got very blue. Or maybe this flower stays blue. I don't know. Maybe it wants to be blue. I could get all Bob Ross and be like, oh, happy little trees, happy little accidents, or however he says it. He's awesome. We have less yellow up here. I'm still going to put it on there heavy because I'm going to blend it. Got that kind of on there. We don't want to lose all the yellow, but we want to blend it. And I'm going to have to come back and do some details on this. Tiny, tiny details. That's okay. See, where it blends on the flower, it doesn't turn green. I'm getting green because I'm mixing blue, purple, and yellow. So I think I need to let this dry. Work on another flower and then come back because of the picture I'm looking at. It's actually kind of an orange color before it turns into the other colors, which is quite fetching, honestly. We'll come back to that guy right there. Let's go back to our friend over here that I started and didn't finish. And because nature is not perfect and it doesn't duplicate, like all these flowers are going to look different because that's how they are in real life. This fellow, I think, is going to have less yellow. It'll just be more purple kind of in general. I'm still concerned about my audio not working because when I talk, I don't see the thing move. The little audio thing. So hopefully I'm not too quiet. If I'm even heard at all. It's fine. I talk to myself anyway, so nobody can hear me. And y'all just get to imagine me talking to myself because I'm crazy. I also make sound effects, sorry. That just happens sometimes. All right. This little fellow, he's definitely going to be more purple. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the blue thing. Like, I know it's kind of blue in the source image, but maybe this one just doesn't have the blue. Maybe this is less blue. I don't know. And I went over the line there, but it's not a big deal. The lines are suggestions, not rules. We teach kids to color inside the lines and all of that. And as a teacher, I also teach my kids, practice coloring inside the lines. And that's good because you do need to learn that as a skill. But, for stuff like this, you can just kind of do what you do. It's art. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing is. I like this. I like how this flower is coming out much better so far. It's okay. It's okay, flower. We'll come back and fix you. You're not broken. You're just not done yet. That's my rooster Jelly Bean, if you can hear him crowing. I adopted him as a chick last year from one of my coworkers. And he is quite the little devil. He takes good care of his hens. And he's a bantam, so he's not some gigantic jerk face, which helps a lot. I'm digging this flower. Now, if you look at nature, or flowers in general, if you look at the way these petals are, leaves and petals have veins in them. They have texture, a lot of texture. So by making my little strokes upwards and inwards, I'm gonna eventually, hopefully, get the right. Because this flower here right now is pretty flat. So hopefully, we'll get a more of a three-dimensional effect by adding the veins, adding the shadows, making sure they go in the right directions. Because directional components like that are important too to give depth. I hope somebody learned something out of all this. I always feel silly talking to myself, which is basically what I'm doing right now. One of my dogs is sitting on a chair nearby and staring at me like I'm a lunatic. It's okay. Here's our yellow. Let it come up. See, we do get that nice orange color when it overlaps. It's just the purple. It's kind of a brownish orange. I like that. It's the blue that did it for me. I don't know how I feel about that blue. We'll fix it. It'll be fine. Whoop. That's okay. I need some shading and some blending. So this dude's just kind of hanging out there. I'm going to let him dry a little. Here's that blue. I'm going to add a little bit of the blue. Just, you notice I turned my page around a whole lot? It's because some angles are easier to paint than others. I'm sure this applies to most people who do any kind of art stuff. Sometimes it's easier to rotate things so that you can do what you want. And if you don't do that and you haven't tried it, I do suggest giving it a try. It helps me with my art, like big time. Whether I'm painting or using a pencil, which is most of my methods of construction these days, I draw in pencil or watercolor, use acrylics. I used to do more things like pastels and chalks, but they're just not my mediums, I guess. All right. I like this guy. He's going to stay like that. We can move on to another one. Maybe this front one is more faded. Maybe it's an older flower that has already opened and had its time. Maybe we make it a little bit lighter. Ooh, that's a lot of water. Oops, that's fine. So we can fix that too. Not a problem. One of my cats says hello to everybody. And then we come back in a little bit of that darker purple. It's still a bit damp and I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to dab it up a little bit. It's easier to work with. And sometimes I do this after to give better effects too, because you get texture that way. Texture of the napkin. You can impart different kinds of prints depending on what you use. But that's not what I'm going for today. And sometimes with watercolors, I do have a bleed over because I'm messy and I don't pay attention and I work very fast. But, it's not a problem. That's fixable too. Like I found watercolors to be much more versatile than I knew they were. I had no idea that I could do what I can do with them. They're incredible. I'm really pleased that I gave them another try. It's been a number of years since I picked them up. Rudy, please. Did you want to be on the show? You're on the show now, Rudy. Silly dogs. My dog is trying to engage my cat in a game, and my cat is having none of it. It's hilarious to watch, although noisy behind me. Look at this little dude come to life. Aww. I like it. It's cute. I chose purple because my coworker loves purple things, purples and pinks, kind of more girly colors, but um, she's pretty awesome. And I definitely want to give her something that I think she would enjoy. And maybe want to hang up somewhere. And that's okay, if she doesn't, that's fine too. But I'm always tickled when my artwork winds up on someone's wall. It's exciting, that somebody liked something and that you gave them. All of my gifts, most of my gifts, are art related things that I make for people. I crochet and knit, I paint and draw, and I do photography sometimes. So that's more of a like a personal record. I take nice photos of my son and my pets and stuff. But I have done weddings and portraits of people, and it's it does bring me joy to know that my work is good enough for someone to put up in their home. It's a good feeling. I like making people happy. This little dude's just gonna hang out here in the middle. Look at that little texture going on right there. That's cute. A little bit of that golden color up in here. Okay. Go back to the darker purple. Let's do this dude here. Your little dude. Some of that nice bold purple. I like the way this worked on the other one, so I'm going to continue with that lininess. And we'll come back and we'll make the other ones match a little better. Try not to get too much liquid on my brush because I don't want to flood my paper, so that's why I tap off some extra on the sides. That way I don't dilute what I'm doing or have it too concentrated, and I can get the consistency I'm looking for without, making a mess. I make messes very easily. It's like, I don't know, a specialty of mine. And I can come back and suck up a drop of paint, right back to it. I guess most YouTubers talk about themselves. I don't plan on being anyone famous. I mean, it's just art. Most people play video games and get famous, not do paintings. But I'm a 37-year-old mom of one. I have a stepdaughter, and I have two young grandchildren through my marriage. I teach in special education, and my students are amazing, and I love them just as much as my own kid, really. They're just absolutely darling. And they make me want to be a better person, which is important. And not many people motivate me like that. Most people I don't listen to. I do my own thing and be stupid, but they make me want to do better. And I've learned a lot from them the last 2 years I've been with them. They're absolutely amazing. They really are. I'm sad. It's the end of the year. We're packing up our room. I say bye to my little babies again. They're going to grow so much next year. I'm going to hardly recognize them. I like this one. This is pretty decent. I think this fellow is just so light. I think we're gonna add a little bit of a. I know I said I wanted it light, but it's too light. Too light for me. Let's just darken it up. Just a little bit. thirsty paintbrush sounds. I'm very glad that I don't have any camera on my face because I make the dumbest, ridiculous, most silly faces when I'm focusing on things, such as painting in this case. My tongue sticks out half the time. You know how it is when you focus on things. I just don't want people to see me do that. I look like a big dork. Although I'm sure it's funny. That's better. That matches a little more, even though it's still kind of more of a faded look. Oh, that's cute. Okay. This little dude needs some yellow. Do not know why I'm calling them little dudes. They just look like little dudes. Although I think I call most cute things little dude. No, cute inanimate objects. Are you inanimate? Pretty flowers? In real life, are you inanimate? Are plants inanimate? I mean, they grow and they move in the wind and stuff, but I feel like I should know that. I'm very tired. It's the end of the year, and we've been packing up, and my brain is like totally frazzled. I'll probably feel really dumb reviewing this later and wondering what came over me in my moment of are plants inanimate? Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I am still kind of clogged up from my second round of COVID this year. Of course, working in a school, you catch a lot of things. So, still have a little bronchitis. It's okay. I'll get over it. So now that this has dropped, coming back over it with more uh, pigment will help. It'll deposit the color over on top and maybe take away some of that green. I will come back. I need to do some more blending to make that orange color too. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I really hope that's not super loud for everyone. One of my feedback reviews from a friend of mine was that it was a very soothing video to watch, The Mermaid, except when I would randomly yell at one of my pets. So I apologize for that. I am clueless and just wanted to do something cool and interesting, and this is something I find cool and interesting. So I don't know what I'm doing. other than talking to myself aimlessly while I paint little flowers. But hopefully, I'm not talking too much. I love talking, it's a problem. See, I added the blue to this one, and now we're getting that ugly green. See? Add some kind of a orangey, kind of an orangey tan, maybe this color. Let's try layering some of this color. Let's try on this weird flower first. Oh, I like it. Okay, I like that. That's pretty. That actually looks a lot like my reference photo. So I'm just going to do that. That's attractive. Very indecisive, as you can tell. You notice I hold my brush in different ways. This gets more surface area, but when I hold it upright, I only get the tip of the brush. This allows me to make finer lines without having to switch to a smaller brush size. Anytime I can cut a corner without having to switch brushes, oh, I will. Oh, thank you. One of my dogs just sneezed on the back of my leg. Maybe this flower's a little darker. Some of those veins up in here. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, yes. Honestly, I'm really digging this very, very much. Look at that. Look at this one. Isn't that just beautiful? Wow. Remember, I've only been painting watercolors for a couple of months, so I impress myself sometimes because I'm just winging it. I don't know. I'm practicing every day. This is another practice piece, really. And either it comes out the way I want it to, or it comes out different. And hopefully, either way, it's appealing to its recipient. But even when things don't go the way I want them to, they still look nice. I think. I think personally. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because it's me and I'm biased. Hmm. I'm pretty sure one of my students is going to find this video the moment it's uploaded. She came in today. Why didn't you live stream again? I wanted to watch your videos. I watched them over and over. Oh, goodness gracious. She never should have gotten a hold of my YouTube. She really wanted to watch me paint. So, okay, she can watch me paint. And that's why I wanted to shout out to my beautiful students, because they're so precious. Their art has really come a long way, too, since I started working with them. I love watching them be better able to express their creativities and their imaginations. My life basically revolves around my family and my students, so I talk about them a lot. Sorry. They are my babies. My other family, home away from home. Coming back to this and adding this kind of orangey color really helped improve this top flower. Oh, wow, they look beautiful. I have to lean back and look to see how they're coming along. I like that. I think we're going to keep that. I think we're going to come back to this purple. Working up these edges. Let's see what we can do about that. We're going to have to give this to my coworker tomorrow, lest my students give me away before I gift it. You know how kids are, they get excited about everything. So these little lines kind of are like the veins in the petals. Add some of that depth and realism I was mentioning. Harder to see. Yes, down there. I'm very impressed with this, honestly. I hate to admit it. I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, but this is really pretty. And I don't know, look at it. This is nice. Pansies are also my favorite flower, so I'm kind of, you know how when you want to give somebody a nice gift that maybe you make and then you decide, oh, I kind of want to keep it. All my best work is stuff that I intend to give away. Always works out that way. To my coworker who suggested background music. If you can hear it, I hope you appreciate it. This little dude is just too pale. Or maybe he needs some blue? I don't know. Okay, well, first of all, this can't be left alone. You're not alone, my friend. I also have on here flower buds that have yet to open. Excuse me, dog. Hey, please leave the cat alone. You're being very noisy. Thank you. So I think we're going to go ahead and just get them dark or darker. I haven't been kissed by the sun yet. So they still have a lot of their new, fresh vibrance, let's say. They look like tiny little ears of corn. Oh, welcome to my watercolor in which I paint tiny purple ears of corn. I'm going to assume there are other flowers back here. Behind all of these, there's more greenery. So I'm just going to kind of put some color back in here. Just a little bit. And when I paint some greenery, I'll put that over it. It'll look like there's flowers back there. Like a subtle hint sort of thing. Maybe we add a tiny bit of yellow. You know. Real yellow to our background friend. That blend. Blend, background friend, blend. My apologies if my voice is super loud because my nice microphone is supposed to be picking me up and it's over there on the end of my table. And yet it might be the webcam that's picking me up and it's right here by my face over my paper. So I'm sorry about that if that is the case, which is why I'm trying to be quiet and more soothing. I have a naturally abrasive voice because I'm usually very loud, so I don't want to bother anybody. It looks like let the flowers dry. So we're going to move on to the leaves real quick. Leaves are fun and easy. They look like a nice medium green color. I'm going to go a little bit on the lighter side. Just so it's not too dark. And I'm just going to go for it and start filling things in. And I'll come back and do detail in a minute. When I start these pictures, I start with pencil And then I outline them with micron pens because they don't smear when I use watercolors over them, which was a tip somebody gave me quite a while back, and I have appreciated ever since. Especially now that I've gotten into, real watercolors. I did practice with watercolor pencils for a while, but I didn't like the way they looked after you actually put the water to them. They still felt like pencils that you just smeared everywhere. And then I got some cheap watercolors, and they were okay, but I could tell that it's still like maybe I just wasn't getting it. So I've invested in nicer watercolors. I don't know if these are like super premium or anything, but they're nicer, and they are definitely doing the job and making me very pleased with them as an investment. Sometimes it's hard for me to know what I'm doing next with my paintings, and I'll skip around different parts of them because I have ADHD and I don't treat it. I just kind of roll with it. So if I seem a little out of control, that's pretty much likely why. See, and I was already up here and I just didn't paint this part. Oh my goodness, these are so cute. Something I like about the micron pens is that as the watercolor pigment dries over the top of them, depending on obviously how much pigment you've laid and what color of it, the pens kind of just disappear into your work, which I like. But I also like the little sketchy appearance of them, the little lines when you can see them. It adds character, I suppose. Excuse me. Okay. I'm gonna make sure they're shaded. Um, actually use a different darker green for that. I mix a lot of colors. I'm actually not mixing a lot today in my tray. This used to be just full of dried mixes. I had to wash it off because it was too much. I had no more room to work. But I mix a lot of colors to make custom colors that aren't on my palette. These are the colors I do have. Um, and you can see there's various ones have been used a whole lot. I'm almost out of white here because I blend it with everything, but it's a nice set. It's got enough variety to keep me occupied at this time. So that's all that I need, really. I'm not looking for anything crazy. So, no need. This is my mid-range size brush. I typically work with 3 paintbrushes. I've been working with these 3 sizes. Um, but I've also taken from my acrylic set my 2 smaller um, little brushes for my fine details. Oh, and sometimes that happens because I keep forgetting to glue this. And that's okay. Just that. Come right up later. I'm not worried. But anyway, that's an adventure and a half. At least it fell over here, right? And not on top of my flowers and making them all grungy. Need to remember to actually fix that. And I'm going to come back and add shades of brown also, or like yellows, tans, because plants naturally have shades like that. So we need to make sure we incorporate it all to make a far more realistic image. Have to remember leaves have veins too. So it's important if you want your leaves to look, if you want your leaves to look, how you can make them however you want to look, obviously, it's up to you. But for me, doing a piece like this, I want to make sure my leaves have the proper, little things here and there, like, the texture. I'm going to add texture to them. I'm going to make them look not super fake smooth. You want to look like you can reach out and touch them and feel them. Instead of doing a line straight out, I've curved them at the edge. This leaf is curved. It helps make it look curved. It's not done yet. None of this is done, obviously, because I'm still working on it. But I jump around. That's all I'm trying to say. I jump around a lot, and I go back and forth. And I'm not done with these flowers now, but I'll get there. Sorry. It's loud. I keep doing that. Judy. it in here. I had somebody ask me once if I had to teach myself how to do all this or if I had other artists in my family. And I actually come from artists on both sides. My late grandmother on my father's side was an amazing artist. She painted acrylics, scenes, landscapes like this, flowers, sunsets, barns, and cows. Just absolutely stunning work. I have a few of her pieces here in my home. I need to put them back up. We just moved into our house about a year ago, so none of my artwork is currently on display. I need to find grandma's work. And then my mother is a phenomenal artist, though she broke her thumb probably going on 20 odd years now ago. She hasn't been able to paint or draw really since, but I've seen her work from when I was younger, and it was fantastic. I wish she was still able to do it. So, but that doesn't mean I'm, just naturally super crazy, amazing good. I do practice like a ton. Like this stuff I've been practicing. My first watercolors were not pretty like this, but I got the hang of them very quickly. Um, I was not a natural at drawing humans. I had to practice that, and I still hate doing it. Well, I mean, that goes without saying. If you practice anything, you'll get better. But I do have a lot of lucky raw talent to work with. So sorry if it's not the same for someone else out there and they're listening to me right now and they're salty about it. Sorry. I don't choose my genes. It just happened. But I'm hoping that I can share some of my insight and my experience and maybe make somebody be able to be better at something. I might not always do watercolors. I also do costumes. Maybe I'll do a video where I show how to sew something. I don't know. But I like teaching. This is just another form of teaching. That leaf is my favorite leaf. That's so cute. Makes me want to fix these other leaves a little better. I'll come back to it. Having to my classical music. Still playing, being very quiet. Typical classical. Apologies. time I cough, it makes my dog nervous, and now he's walking around anxiously. Such a weirdo, Rudy. Sometimes when I put too much deposited in one spot, too much pigment and water, I'll skip over to a new spot and kind of whoops it somewhere else. Like this poor leaf got really, really damp. I dragged some of it over here. That's much better. I like these leaves. They're looking good. I do need to add some of that green tanned back here. Oh goodness, opera. I'm not sure how I feel about this music anymore. There is no love lost between opera and me. Opera and I. And I'm off work. I don't want to talk properly. Okay. That's nice. I have a very squeaky chair. Sorry. Alright. I'm going to try to clean up some of this here. I found out with watercolors, at least with these, if you wet a mistake and kind of wipe it, you can take up some of the mistake. I'm not super concerned because I'm going to paint a background, but I didn't want this green interfering with it. And this is actually dripped right on the border, so that needs to come up. Because my border was supposed to be white. I'm happy with that. That'll do. Okay. Hang on, I'm a mess. I need to turn my gray on. I say turn it on. Activate it. Moisten it. I hate the word moist. Anyway, the gray paint wasn't ready yet. It's ready now. Time for some tiny details that hopefully I can pull off. Brought to you in part by the letter W for what is on this brush? Ew. Was it cleaned very well this time? We're good. Okay. Hopefully we're good. She says. She doesn't know what she's doing. Interestingly, my small brush is not holding enough liquid to do what I wanted to do. Not sure I feel about these little veins. We're just going to do our shading. A little bit of outlining here. This poor little brush can't hold enough. I have to hold my breath when I paint these little things like this. Dang it. It's okay. is actually gray that I'm using and not black. I find it to be dark enough without being super overpowering, which is what I am going for here. Tiny brush, you're kind of disappointing me right now. Oh, not sure how I feel about the black. The flower has the black, but I'm gonna have to come back over it and minimize it. I'm not digging it very much. My chickens are biting each other. Be quiet, chickens. Okay. Now you're doing what I like and what I wanted. You wretched paintbrush. Maybe you wretched hand, since, that's me doing it. We're going to switch to my smaller big brush for some shading. It's still too heavy. I'm going to go back and just do little things like this to the edges, trying to give more character to it. I don't know. I think it helps. Sounds like my dog's getting ready to take a potty break, so I apologize in advance for any extra noise. My husband will be letting him out. This poor leaf. I'll have to go back and fix that leaf, but it's not going to be a big deal. I feel like I keep saying that a lot. But none of this is a big deal. It's just art. Excuse me. I'm happier with where this is going. I'm not happy enough yet. Let's see. Let's see if some shading helps these flowers really come forth. With this one back here. Goodness gracious. Okay. Add some shading to this friend here. These, because these are behind this friend, but in front of this friend. So we kind of blend it. My poor husband and the chickens made the ruckus, ran to close the sliding door for me, and making the most delightful face because he was worried that they were being too loud. Cracks me up. Hopefully they aren't too loud, of course. Sorry if they are. I don't control them. I just have them and eat their unborn. I'm liking it so far. Let's get some of that gray. Little purple ears of corn. Okay, a little more dark right up in here. All right. Not bad so far. We're right at about an hour and a half. I need to let these dry before I can paint a background. So, thank you for joining me on this pansy painting adventure. I will be making a few more touch-ups once they're drying and then giving them a pretty background, probably pink, to go with her pinks and purples that she appreciates. And I will be back another time with a different piece. In the future, works that I make may or may not be for sale. I will figure that out and find a way to market them in such a way. I do paint a lot of things for fun, then have nothing to do with them. And I am open for commissions. Yes, I am open for commissions, Rudy. You're right. I do specialize in pet portraits. So my Facebook page is Craft Vulture Designs. It's got a vulture with a ball of yarn for a picture. So find me on Facebook, hit me up, follow me, whatever. I don't care. Just letting you know. I have other things available to look at on there if you want to look at other stuff I do. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.